She'll be right. The first time I heard this classic Aussie saying, it was a month into my semester studying abroad at the University of New South Wales in Sydney, Australia. I was spending the weekend in Bathurst, living on a farm with an elderly couple to experience life in the Australian countryside. Over dinner, I had been voicing concerns over how stressful my life back in the States always is, and would continue to be when I returned at the conclusion of my semester studying in Sydney. Just hold on to that Aussie spirit, they told me, and everything will work out alright. This attitude dominates the country of Australia, at least as I experienced it, and is diametrically opposed to my university experience back in the US. Back at home, I operate under high levels of stress all the time, particularly school and work related. My drive when it comes to my education is a positive, but the stress that it brings me is unhealthy at times. My semester in Australia helped me to let go of a lot of worry about school and about my future. I've learned that school is so important to reach my goals in life, but it isn't helpful if I'm barely living my life in the first place. This lesson would not have had nearly the impact it did had it not come from the experience of living in the Kensington colleges on campus at UNSW. The local students who lived there were incredibly invested in the community, and there was an expectation that as a study abroad student, you would contribute to that community with your involvement as well. Every week held so many social, cultural, and sporting events, from our college ball to group outings to comedy shows to intramural basketball, that in the beginning I didn't know how I would be able to balance schoolwork, college life, and the travel that I hoped to do. I quickly had to make some adjustments to my normal habits just to keep up, but those small changes to my lifestyle ended up having a huge impact on my time in Australia and beyond. The biggest change I made was in my time management and in the amount of time I allotted to certain activities, including schoolwork. As most Aussies seem to do, since libraries close much earlier than what most students are used to in the States, I got used to getting my homework and studying done during the day so that my nights were usually free to explore and weekends were open to travel opportunities. Don't get me wrong, I worked hard to earn good grades while I was abroad, but living in college helped me to let go of a perfectionism that wasn't even helping my academic performance in the first place, only hindering my own personal growth. I ended up making some of the best friends of my life living in college and learning to experience all that life has to offer with them. Balance is necessary to avoid burning yourself out. Life is so much more rewarding if you're able to step back often and truly enjoy it. I've done my best to carry this mentality back to my life at home. It is definitely more difficult to keep that positive outlook back at school in the US, but I hold on to the adventurous spirit I discovered within myself in Australia and remind myself that the world is way bigger than my worries and is always out there waiting for me to discover more of it.